And welcome to a Missouri Valley Conference chat. I'm Andy Katz, pleased to be joined by Bradley's Brian Wardle. Brian, like a lot of teams in the Valley, there's been a little bit of a roller coaster. Great win over Northern Iowa, very tough tournament down in the Paradise Jam, playing against a team that obviously now is one of the best teams in the country in Colorado State. So quality competition, tough slate as you hit this sort of December time before you get in the Valley back again. Where are you guys?
Oh, we're moving in the right direction. I mean, we're moving upward for sure. And, we got educated this non-conference a little bit as a group. We got 8 new guys to the team, 6 in the rotation. And we played a very challenging non-conference schedule, probably too challenging to be quite honest with our roster. But we've learned a lot about our team, personnel, rotations, lineups, different things defensively that can work. And so I think, you don't want this to be the norm in 2021 is having a new roster every year, but with the portal and things, you got to learn how to coach that and be smart about it with your team and your scheduling. But we are moving in the right directions. I like what we have. I love our chemistry. I like how connected we are off the court. We just got to continue to blend a little bit better on the court. And we've had a lot of close losses. Probably 4 or 5 of our losses have been with 4 minutes to go, a 1-possession game or we're up. And so we got to learn to win as a group, and we're learning that now, and we got to learn how to execute down the stretch better.
Your teams tend to get better throughout the course of the season while you've been at Bradley and then really peak in the tournament. What are the chances that this team could follow that same path?
Oh, there's a chance. We're talented enough, and we got to continue to stay. I mean, obviously health plays a huge factor in those runs. I mean, we've had ups and downs in 1920 when we won the with injuries during the season. And then we got healthy right at the end of the season and started clicking. Hopefully we can stay healthy because we need as many games as we can. We got to get those games under our belt so we can continue to get better. But, Terry Roberts is a very good player. Rink Mass, we know what he can do. And I think he's about to, get it going a little bit more offensively for us. And then Vilay's getting more healthy. Ari Boy has been healthy, knock on wood. And so we're slowly coming together and improving our offense. And now we just got to cut back our turnovers a little bit, cut back our fouling a little bit. And I think we can, definitely make some noise in Valley play.
Speaking of noise, what's it been like to have this group in front of fans, home and road?
It's great because as you know, Andy, Peoria, Central Illinois loves basketball. And we have a great support here in the city. And the city and the community supports us greatly. And so it's been fun to see all our fans back in the stands. Even if they have to wear masks, it's still great to hear them and see them. And it definitely has helped our guys win some home games this year.
Outside of Loyola, and I think it's fair to say they're the favorite, it just feels like it's wide open. I'm not saying they can't be toppled, but do you get a sense that, you could really put a slew of teams 2 through 7 or 8?
We could, yeah. I do. I think the experience and the age and plays a factor in the Valley. And obviously Loyola is extremely old and has a lot of veterans and experience in Drake and Northern Iowa and all in Missouri State and those teams that were preseason. But you can kind of see some things starting to fall into place right now in the non-conference. And like if we can stay healthy and we can keep blending, I like our talent. I like our length and size. And I like how we're shooting the ball right now. So I think we present some problems that could go into Valley play and hopefully, like I said, make some noise and mix it up a little bit. But there's no doubt Loyola's experience and culture is winning right now. But it's a long season, and that's the thing you got to always remember as a coach. It's about learning and growing and trying to peak, like you said, in February and March.
The early December games, getting one at least under your belt. And a win. So much even before you get to Indiana State, but still, what does that do for this group to know you've got that on the shelf? We've got one, and then you have a couple, week gap before you get back into it.
Well, I liked that game after we won it. I was happy. It's a tough game, to go play on the road in early December in conference because you're still learning about your team. Like especially us, with like I said, 6 newcomers, we're still learning about rotations and who plays well together and defensive tweaks and offensive tweaks, you really don't get a feel for your team until you're done. Really, I always say at Christmas break, I always got a really good feel of my team going into conference play. And when you play a conference game before that, it can kind of throw a little wrench into that. But it's just one game. I think there's so many more league games out there. But it does feel good to be 1-0. I think we come out of Christmas and play Bellarmine at home, who's really good. And then we get into conference play again. So it's going to be a challenge going on the road to open up after Christmas, but it is nice to be 1-0 right now.
Hey, one last thing, Brian. The transfer portal, I think what we've seen in this first 5-6 weeks of the season is it's working both ways. I think there was certainly a consensus, it's going to be really decimate the schools that are outside the Power 5, Power 6. But I've seen plenty of players who have transferred the other way that have had great success, or sort of peer-to-peer, if you will. What's your early read on how it's playing out?
It's going to be interesting. I think we need more data for it. I think we need another year or two under our belt to really get a feel. Is transferring down working for kids? Is transferring up working for kids? I know a lot of the kids that we've recruited that have transferred up or have left programs at the mid-major level to go high major are not having the success that they had at the mid-major level at all, or low major level. But I do see there are some high major kids that are, maybe aren't playing the minutes they want. They come from a winning team and they just want, they've paid their dues. They've been there 4 years, gotten their degree, and now they just want to see if they can go get minutes and win a championship somewhere. And that can benefit teams like Bradley and teams in the Valley. So we'll see kind of how it all plays out. I hope it settles down. I hope kids stick it out for that original school that recruited them and the original choice that they made. But it doesn't look that way right now. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out the next couple of years.
Yeah, and also I would say that a lot of times these players that transfer up, their role has changed dramatically. They could be a volume shooter at a different level. And now they go to this new school and no, that's not what we want you here. So it's an adjustment that some can make and some won't. And sometimes it takes some time. Well, Bradley off to what I would say, obviously a great start in the Valley because you got the one and things are starting to settle down. I think we're going to be talking about the Braves going forward in the Valley season. Appreciate your time, Brian. Have a great holiday.
Thanks, Andy. You too. Appreciate it, man.